My name's Jared Perry. This is my presentation on government customer service. I chose to do a consulting project on an organization much like my own. So just an overview of my consulting project. I'm going to talk about the problem with government customer service, analyze the organization, go over some of the research analysis, key findings from the research, what it actually was that I was researching, and then I'll provide my recommendations and a summary. The problem with government customer service really has to do with the lack of competition. There's no choice for the customers to go to another route to get service. And because of that, customers are usually taken for granted. Another problem with government service is the high rate of turnover, not only for the employees, but for management. And because of the high rate of turnover, customers being taken for granted, there's low employee morale. And as you might suspect, thinking of the IRS, the DMV, when you think of these organizations, you also think of the culture of the employees, assuming everyone is trying to beat the system. The organization is the Marine Corps, but it's not as a whole, specifically the administration department, which is not a traditional military occupation. We actually provide a service to other military members. In this organization, we ensure accurate pay entitlements, and we maintain performance and recognition records. Just like other government service organizations, our employees rotate every year to new jobs and every couple years to new locations. And there's competing interests and dehumanization of the customers. It's just another number. When looking through the research, I found that total quality management is the customer who determines what the quality of your service is. And that's really the key to what I'm recommending we use to turn an organization around. And the quality comes from systems, not individuals. Individuals competing against each other to be number one, etc., etc. It also requires continuous improvement. What works yesterday may not work today, may not work tomorrow. So we always have to be on the lookout for improvements. And it all comes down to customer satisfaction. There is an organization in the Columbus Consolidated Government who implemented TQM in their government customer service organization, and they succeeded. John Cotter's got 8 steps to implement change, and this is the research that I'm using to recommend how we go about changing the culture of our organization. We need to get a sense of urgency, explain to people why is it important, and they need to buy into that, which leads into the second step. Now, the most important person and people that need to buy into it are top management. So once we have a sense of urgency and a buy-in, we need to create a vision, share the vision, Okay, and then empower our employees to act on it. Okay, but I also recommend empowering the customers through feedback and by empowering them to set the quality standard. Okay, recognize short-term wins and continuously improve. Eventually, that should lead to the 8th step, changing the culture. My first recommendation is to establish a sense of urgency by defining the problem and why it's important to change, and build a coalition by getting top management to buy in on the change. Next, we'll develop a vision based on customer focus, reminding the employees service is about people. Focus on increasing employee morale by adapting TQM principles. Then we're going to communicate that vision, clearly define and identify who the customer is, and that they define the quality of our service through not only directives but our actions as leader. Next, I recommend that the organization empower others and remove obstacles. They can empower the customer through feedback and removing obstacles in their processes, and empower the employees by sharing ideas and increasing satisfaction. Once they're doing this, I recommend the organization track progress and recognize short-term wins. While we're tracking progress and recognizing short-term wins, I recommend follow the 7th step, consolidate and produce more change. Review that progress that we've been tracking, make small adjustments through continuous feedback and improvement cycle. And hopefully that'll lead to changing the culture. So in review, talked about the problem with government customer service, how they have a monopoly on the service they're providing, and so basically there's no incentive to provide customer satisfaction, and how the military organization is unique in that it has the same obstacles as other government service organizations, but also additional requirements and constraints on the employees through physical training and combat readiness. How the research showed that implementing some type of TQM and boosting employee morale will actually increase customer service.